Welcome into today's podcast, right here at the Cog Hill 40. Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the canned ham for this episode, so here's Jason and Brooke. Johnny Carson didn't have nothing on these folks.
What is going on, Cog Squad? My mic's off here. Sorry about that. Hope y'all having a wonderful, wonderful day. We're having an awesome day here on the Cog Hill 40 in the canned ham.
I was just thinking I needed some coffee.
Oh, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
It would. It's a little chilly outside. Of course, I've got my trusty
thermals on.
And
your burgundy sweatshirt.
My burgundy sweatshirt. That's my staple. And my thermal pants.
Oh my gracious!
All that get up.
That's so funny.
But it's not that bad right now. It's afternoon.
This morning was the sun was out. It was a beautiful day. And I thought it was going to be like it has the last couple of days with the sun out. And I went out this morning, and it about took my breath away.
Well, it said 33 for the low last night.
But it said 33, but it said it felt like 24.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when you told me it was cold outside, I took your word for it. So I bundled up and put my little ninja mask on, and I was out feeding Mildred, and I wished that I had not worn the ninja mask.
You got hot?
It was cold, but the sun was shining, and I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
So.
I like your ninja mask.
Oh, you do?
I might have to get me one of them ninja masks.
If they had had another one, I would have bought you one, but you told me you already had one.
I do. It is not as good as yours.
Yours is not fleece.
No, mine's just
thin.
Yeah.
But it keeps the wind off of you, I guess.
If I get one, then you got to sword fight with our ninja mask.
Oh, yeah,
on.
that'd be a good idea. You know I'm going to win.
Oh, me.
We've had a eventful few days, so much so that we're late on our podcast.
We are late on our podcast. We just been working.
Literally, I lost track of the days this time.
Well, yesterday we decided. No, it wasn't yesterday.
Yeah.
It was Tuesday.
Yesterday was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday.
That shows you how busy we are because my days is mixed up. So the podcast is coming out on Thursday. We're recording it here on Wednesday. We were going to record it yesterday on Tuesday when it's supposed to come out, and then I was going to post it that late afternoon. And by the time we got in, it was 6:30. By the time I set the podcast up, it would have been 6:45. Then we're going to talk for an hour. That'd be 7:45. Then I got to edit it, and then I got to upload it. So it'd have been well past 9 o'clock.
And you've been tired this week?
And I've been tired. Matter of fact, last night, as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was gone. That's 2 nights in a row.
I slept pretty good, but I'm having these episodes where I sweat. And my mama calls it not premenopausal, but something like that.
Right.
She had a specific word, but I can't remember what it was.
One of them fancy words.
Fancy words. And I don't know if that's what it is or not, but it's not every night, thank goodness. But when it happens, I wake up and I am literally soaking wet.
Wow.
My clothes are wet, my body's wet, and I just hate it. I just hate it. I'm parched for thirst because I've sweated so bad. So I'm about ready for these premenopausal, whatever they are, to nip it in the bud. And I think I'm just getting started.
Get it over with.
That's what I think. I think I should nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
So
get over it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
With that mess.
That's what I feel like. But I slept good. I just woke up soaking wet.
I slept good. I've been doing good. It's crazy. We've been worried about bathrooms, and
I said last
night
trying
to find a tub. You know what? I told you I was going to find the tub, and I forgot. I fell asleep. I told you my intentions were to look, and I fell asleep.
Well, I had ample opportunity to do my nightly search last night.
Yeah.
And I literally told myself I'm not looking.
Did you buy
No.
You didn't buy the fixtures?
No.
I thought you bought the fixtures already.
I want to find the tub first.
Well,
so
I'll find the
here's
tub.
our new dilemma.
I'll find the tub. You know what I thought about today?
What?
We were down there cleaning up the barn.
The old tub.
I thought about measuring it.
I did too. I went down there and looked at it this morning.
I want to talk about measuring it.
And you know, it's got that little black around the top of it. You know what that is?
What?
Where we turned it upside down on the trailer. So I think that part will come off.
Yeah.
It's just from it rubbing on the trailer.
It is.
Well, anyway, here's our new dilemma. is Marycarl's bathroom is obviously also the guest bathroom because we're only having 2 bathrooms.
That's right.
So we have a master. We finally figured it out. We ordered that bathtub. We're going to do just a shower pan for now, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for the walls.
Right.
When we need to. We just need a shower pan so the plumber will know where to put the drain. And I hadn't ordered that, by the way.
The shower pan?
I hadn't ordered it, but I found it. So.
Can I tell them what we're...
Well, I was going to
okay.
carry on about my... I'll forget about the
Okay.
the guest bathroom.
I'm going to write down because I'll forget that. Go ahead.
So, Marycarl loves the cast iron tub idea as well. However, we wouldn't...
Clawfoot tub. Not
Well,
necessarily
yeah, I was
cast
going to
iron.
say cast iron. She likes the cast iron idea. However, we wouldn't buy a cast iron tub because they're just too heavy and too bulky and, whatever. We'd buy an acrylic one.
They're way more.
It's not that much difference because
the
I've
ones
been...
I looked at were like double what we paid for ours that were cast iron, but you may have looked somewhere
Yeah,
different.
I've looked at a lot of them, and it's not that much difference in the ones that I'm looking at now.
I got you.
Because of the size.
I got you.
See, with a clawfoot tub, you need to have 6 inches, 2 at the faucet end if it's a wall mount faucet, and 4 at the back end, so it doesn't look like it just got squished into that area.
Right.
So our walls are basically
6 foot.
No, 5 foot, 60 inches. So that brings me to a 54-inch tub, which is not big at all.
Yeah. You know what? The more I think about it, I'm not worried about it. Doing that 6 inches and 4 inches. I'm really not. But go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
She liked that idea of having that clawfoot style
She
tub.
loves the clawfoot style tub. She loves the soaking tub.
Right now, she takes a bath.
Yes.
But I have a feeling when teenage years hit, and as she gets older, a shower may call her name a little more.
Right.
Not to say she couldn't come to our shower.
Right.
But it wouldn't be her bathroom.
That's right.
So, girls have all that get up that they have to carry with them.
All them bottles and fancy smelling stuff. And,
she doesn't want to haul all that to just take a shower. So I thought, a bathtub only in the guest bathroom might be a funny thing.
Yes.
So I've mentioned before, I'm on these barn dominium forums on Facebook and different groups. So my mama suggested that I put on Facebook what they thought. And I thought, I don't care what they think.
About having just a bathtub
Just
only.
a bathtub. I thought, I don't care what they think. It's our house. We can do what we want to.
That's right.
Well, then I started thinking, you know what? We have no plans of moving.
No.
But you never know what might happen.
That's true.
If Marycarl goes to Alaska, we're going to Alaska, whether I want to go or not. I'm going to get me 42 pair of thermals, and I'm going to Alaska too.
Oh, my gracious.
And you are too, by the way. But you know what I'm saying. You
I know
just
what you're
can't
saying.
predict the future.
That's
So
right.
while we think we aren't going anywhere, I need to be thinking about other people as well as if we were to have, not to have to sell, but if we were to sell. So I put, would it be weird to have just a bathtub in the guest bathroom?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. On the first day, I had 99 comments.
You had one person that you read to me. Everybody said it would be weird that you had to have a shower in the guest bathroom.
It would be weird.
But there was one lady that said that it's your house, and if the guests don't like it, they can go to the Holiday Inn.
That's exactly right. And I did grin when I read that.
That tickled me.
But however, when I posted it, I wasn't particularly talking about guests. I was talking about maybe we just don't have guests.
No. I've even thought about this. Not having a shower in the master bathroom.
Well, they say that's really weird. All these people are putting just showers and no tubs.
I know that. But I'm just saying, I've thought about that.
Yeah, well, we can't do it because
our friends at Black
you
Blossom,
told me that they did have a shower
in the master. There, I swear, there's no shower.
You came back and told me
there
was a shower.
There's not one in there. I looked at her. She posted a picture here recently, and there's not a shower in that master.
Gina,
bathroom.
if you're listening,
Gina
at Black Barn Blossoms,
I'm gonna send Hank a text.
Well, I just about reached out to Gina yesterday about spray foam.
You need to.
I just don't want to bother somebody.
You're not gonna bother them. Some good folks.
We're talking about Gina and Hank. Gina has a YouTube. It's called Black Barn Blossoms.
And Hank's a pretty big YouTuber. Hamiltonville Farm.
Hamiltonville Farms.
Yeah.
He's more tractors and mechanical stuff, and she's more flowers and houses and such as home decorating and such as that.
I'm going to look at her while you talking.
But they live down around Panama City Beach, Florida, and they redid a pole barn and turned. But you showed me where the shower was.
I don't see how there's a shower in there.
They redid a pole barn and turned it into a barn dominium, and it is beautiful. You can't show that. People are going to get mad at you. You can't focus on it.
Focus.
They're going to get mad at you.
I'll try to put it in there. That's their bathroom. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Y'all check them out. Black Barn Blossoms on Instagram. Their place is gorgeous.
It is. I mean, like, where I go when I need an idea for something.
Look, I'm going to screenshot it now. That way I can put it in this podcast.
Good idea. But, I mean, I know it's our house, but I'm also asking for what the future.
Right.
And if people wouldn't buy a house that didn't have a shower in the guest bathroom, then I want to put a shower in.
Right.
So, the only solution to a clawfoot tub.
Yes.
Sound like somebody coming down the driveway.
It's just a loud truck.
Is to put a surround around it. It's like a little vintage hoop.
Well, that's what they did back in the day when they'd had a clawfoot tub and needed a shower. You expose pipes. It's got a hoop that goes around it and a shower curtain goes around it. And they're beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. I got a pretzel in my throat. I can't get rid of it.
So, I have searched and I have searched and I have searched some more to try to find a bronze or black. Everything is chrome.
Everything's chrome. But I started thinking.
You think the chrome would be okay?
The chrome would be okay.
If the chrome's okay, I'll order one tonight.
I think the chrome would be absolutely fine. I do.
Does she have chrome? You don't have to look right now. I just thought you might remember.
I don't remember.
Everything is chrome, and maybe that's because they did not have bronze or black back then. They had chrome fixtures. Black. Okay, I gotta have black then. Gina says black has got to be black.
No, but ours is black. This is the other bathroom.
I know, but I'm telling you, I can't find it.
I'm saying we could do chrome in it. I swear, I'm almost positive. I'm gonna look. We're gonna make that decision soon because
my brain's fried. Is that what you were gonna say?
No, this plumbing business is coming.
Well, we thought the plumbing business was coming this week.
Well, we did thought the plumber, Brant, our builder, told me yesterday to go ahead and get the plumber lined up because they're fixing to be at a point where the plumber can come in. But the plumber had reached out to you the day before and just letting you know Monday, just letting you know that his wife has got COVID and that he's in quarantine.
Yep.
And that it's going to be a week behind if we need him.
Yep. Well, so he was planning on coming this week.
Yeah.
And so he didn't know what day he could come. He told me he had to check his schedule and he'd get back with me. Well, he got back with me, all right. When he got back with me, he said, my wife has COVID.
Yeah.
And I'm in quarantine. And I said, oh, my, I hope that she recovers quickly and that you don't get it. And he said, I'm staying away from her. Well, he is staying away from her now, but that doesn't mean he wasn't.
That's true.
Not everybody gets it doesn't seem like, but.
That's true.
If somebody's sick, you can't control it. Matter of fact, our builder had to leave early today.
Yes.
Because he wasn't feeling 100%. And I told Jason, I said, reach out to him.
I did.
Tell him that if he's not feeling 100%, to don't feel like he's got to come here because your health is most important.
Yeah, don't. I told him we're not going to be mad or disappointed for him to stay himself at home and get better.
Get better. That's the main thing. Is no matter how bad we want our house built, somebody's health comes first.
That's right.
And he's not bad sick, I don't think. I think he just doesn't feel like working.
Right.
So,
not feel like working as in he's lazy. Not feel like working because he don't feel 100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because he's not lazy.
He's not lazy. I can't imagine him. I told him to go home and go to bed.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine him having gone home and gone to bed.
I can't either because I texted him and he has texted me back.
Well, he wasn't asleep then.
He wasn't asleep then. But he hasn't responded back for me telling him to get some rest.
Good. Well, maybe he is getting some rest then. But, somebody's health comes first, and I don't care what we have to put on the back burner. It's just, that's the most important thing. is to understand that.
Absolutely.
So what were you going to say about what decision?
I was going to say, because we've been tossing around this whole master shower thing. We have tossed around, we've talked about it. And so I've been doing a lot of research on these fiberglass, just your general fiberglass shower. Acrylic. And from what I'm gathering, they just don't make these things like they used to. Everybody says they're super thin. The cons, they're super thin. The walls are super thin. They're not stud mounts. You still got to put sheetrock up or something like that. All this stuff. And I still can't find one that don't have all these doopty-doos on it either.
Mama's is awesome.
You found one for your mom?
No. Mama's in the tiny house.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't make it in our size.
So that's been the issue with us. And then you the onyx, that was the other thing. But the onyx is maybe hard to get, for one, is what we're finding out. So we could have a shower and have a bathroom and no shower. So we tossed it around, and then what this is funny is that reason why Brooke is having a hard time with onyx, because they have 65,000 different styles of onyx.
I don't do good when I have choices. Just give me one or two.
So you're really,
one is best.
You're really struggling with that onyx because of all of the choices that you got.
When I went in the showroom that sells it,
yes,
in Alabama, and he showed me all of those samples, I literally hung my mouth open and I said, "Okay, I'll come back with my husband."
Yes.
But I hadn't gone back with my husband.
Haven't gone back with me yet. We got some feedback on onyx, and it was like maybe 50-50, wasn't it? We had some people that said they kind of didn't like it, and there's some people that said, and I think that's going to be with anything. No matter what you're going to have, just like reading the reviews. You read the reviews, you're going to see, all these people have these horror stories, and you have these people that love it. So, just got to make your own judgment. But there's been something that's been on the back of my mind, because I want the inside of our house to look like a farmhouse, a vintage farmhouse. That's what I got. That's why I'm so excited that Marycarl wants the Clawfoot tub in her bathroom and not a modern-looking bathtub, even though that'd probably be way simpler. It would. But I'm thinking I even
looked at drop-in tubs the other day, making it rustic looking and using a drop-in tub. You still got to think about surrounds.
You do. But I keep thinking that's going to be the guest bathroom. A lot of people will go in there, and I just want the house to feel like an old country farmhouse. So I love the Clawfoot tub. We don't want this elaborate, fancy stuff. So I've been doing some research on this, and I just knew you were not going to like the idea at all. So I've been keeping it to myself for several days, because I thought there's no sense in me even mentioning this, because you're going to shoot it down anyways. And that is a corrugated metal, like your tin roof shower surround. And you were like, "Oh, I like that." And I was like, "Really?" And you're like, "Yeah, I kind of like that." So we've been doing a lot of research on that, and they do. Some of them don't. If they're super shiny, looks brand new, we kind of don't like that. The one I like, not necessarily the rusty looking one, but it's just matte.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's just a matte metal finish, and it's got the wood trim. It looks really rustic.
And the exposed pipes for the shower. It
just looks good.
It does, and we can do it ourselves.
We can do that ourselves. It would be very economical.
So all we would need to do is buy a shower pan, which we would have to buy anyway.
That's right.
Unless we went with a tile shower, which we've already decided we're not doing that.
That's right.
So we're going to buy a prefab shower pan instead of trying to form the pan out of concrete ourselves or mortar. And that's going to be pretty easy.
I think so.
I think we're going to do a black one.
That's what you were leaning towards. We've seen them all the way.
I just black, like the contrast.
White,
with the black.
And then our fixture is going to be rubbed oil bronze and black.
No, they're black. on the tub, on the cast iron tub.
Oh, it's rubbed oil.
Oh, okay, it's
Yeah.
bronze.
It's rubbed oil, but it's very similar. There's
As long as it's dark, I think
it's
you
very
won't know the
similar.
difference.
And nowadays you can mix match metal. You know, used to
won't do though.
that used to be the
I mean, I'm okay with
golden rule that you couldn't do that brass and silver, and you can now.
I'm okay with the corrugated tin
Yes.
and the different,
Yes.
not being all chrome or
Right.
whatever, but not the tub being oil rub bronze and chrome shower. I don't like that.
You don't like that.
Mm-mm.
I don't like that either. But we could do galvanized like metal fixtures for the shower, and it would, you probably
You wouldn't notice
you wouldn't
it.
know the difference.
It'd be just industrial looking.
Yeah.
And that's more my thing. I like the industrial look.
Yeah.
Blended with the farmhouse look.
Mhm.
So it's,
kind of
kind of modern farmhouse.
modern farmhouse.
But not so
That's correct.
modern.
Right.
Not to the point where our other house was. We kind of went over the board with modern.
We did, but we like modern.
Oh, I
too.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
the look of the
Yeah.
house and everything we did to it.
Right.
It just you kind of get to the point where if you're doing something new, then you want it to be different.
That's right. And I've always loved the vintage rustic look. So I'm thinking that's where we're going to go, because I think that's what our house is going to look like on the inside. We're going shiplap probably a lot. The exposed we've been talking about now doing is making some exposed rustic beams in the bedrooms now.
And letting those ceilings be a little more open versus they can't be too open though, because we plan on having an upstairs just loft.
A loft, not a full upstairs.
No,
Yeah.
but still we need some space, so it
Right.
couldn't be fully open for the loft area.
Right.
That's okay. We'll figure that
We'll
out.
figure it out.
But we've come so far with our needing a plumber,
Mm-hmm.
and the plumber, obviously is in quarantine, to needing insulation.
Yeah, we're at a point now where, and this is what we're running into, where you think you got something figured out and you've done the research, and then you get thrown a curveball and it just throws you way out of whack. And that's what happened to me. You really don't know anything about the insulation.
I don't, but I kind of am the one that does the reaching out to the people. And then, if there's something that Jason and I both need to discuss, then we call back and put it on speakerphone.
Yeah.
But he's usually busy. And so I take control of that. And when the person calls back, I jot down the information, or we do a call back together.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've talked to 2 different people, and I told Jason what the second guy said, which was totally different from what he had read and been told.
You got 2 types of spray foam, and that's what we're going to go with, is spray foam insulation. And you got closed cell and you got open cell. Now, open cell is the thick, super thick spray foam that you think of, that kind of like you spray out of this can. That's kind of open cell.
And the R value is not as high on open cell, and it's also more like a sponge.
Yeah, open cell is also like if you get a package in the mail, something big that was really fragile, and that's open cell spray foam. Closed cell spray foam is like a styrofoam cup. It resists water. It's very, 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 very rigid, which it means when you spray closed cell spray foam, it actually increases your stability
Rigid.
of your house. Yeah, it makes your house super. It would be like us putting wood on outside the house.
Right.
If we put the closed cell spray foam. As a matter of fact, I watched a video last night, and you can't poke your finger through closed cell.
Really?
Open cell, you can poke your finger all the way through it. Now, closed cell's thin.
Well, that's because the R value is double what open
is.
cell is. R value meaning the amount of energy that.
Right. So we were thinking that, first of all, closed cell it costs more than open cell.
Right.
So you got that. So if you want the open cell, since it is like a sponge, everything I've read, you have to put a vapor barrier up between the outside and the inside and spray the foam to that vapor barrier, because if you have a leak whatsoever or condensation whatsoever, it's going to soak it in, and you're going to have mold and mildew problems. But if you have a vapor barrier, you don't have to worry about that. Everything I've read said that. Everything.
I think about our brooder that we built at Little Cog.
Yes.
Okay. So we put a metal roof on it.
Yes.
And if you recall, we had, heat in there that would keep the chicks warm.
That's right.
And what would happen is when it was cold outside,
Yep.
and we had the heat on the inside,
Yep.
it started, and y'all may remember this video, it started dripping.
It would.
It would
started
drip.
dripping.
And so we ended up having to go and put some foam board insulation in
Yep.
there to keep the chicks from getting wet.
And it stopped it.
And it's the same concept.
Same concept. This condensation is what happens is that outside temperature is way cooler than that inside temperature, and it causes that metal to sweat. And so that's what would happen with this, and then you would have the possibility of it that spray foam soaking it in like a sponge. Well, so we got 2 prices so far, and this was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, day before yesterday. Anyways.
One was yesterday and one was day before, I believe.
So, long story short, the first guy said, okay, if you're putting Tyvek on it, I'll price you open cell.
Tyvek is house wrap.
It's house wrap. And so he gave us a price and then called another company, and that guy basically said, if you put Tyvek on it, I'm going to tear it off because you don't need it, and I've had issues with it in the past, and I sprayed the open cell directly to the metal. And Brooke
so what that
told me
means is if we took that brooder that was at Little Cog,
yes,
and we sprayed a sponge up there.
Very possible. Now, I see what... So, if it was an ideal... And I learned this today. If it was an ideal situation and you spray foamed your house with the open cell and immediately put your air condition in there and it controlled the temperature on the inside, then you wouldn't have that condensation problem. But we're not going to be at that point.
Right.
I don't know if that's what this guy was insinuating, but there's no way he could have been because we told him it was a brand new house.
Yeah. I told him it
Anyways,
wasn't in the dry yet.
Nobody I've read has ever done open cell, from what I read, without having a vapor barrier. Well, Brent, our builder, gave me a contact today of someone, and I contacted him, and he was very knowledgeable. And I asked him, he said, if you got any questions, ask away. And I asked him, and he was like, no, you got to have a vapor. He said, even if you put plastic up, same reason. You got to have that vapor barrier up so it don't
get that.
soak in any. If there's any leaks or anything, it's going to soak it up. So I was like, okay, cool.
I bet it would detach from the metal too.
I don't know. I guess it could. I guess it really, really could.
You just think about if you took a can of spray foam and you sprayed it to metal
Mm-hmm.
and it got a little moisture behind it, it would immediately pull off.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible. But, though, you've gotten that tough stuff on your hands.
Yeah, I'm not talking about my hands, though, if I sprayed it on a piece of metal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's different.
Yep. That is different.
So, I don't know, but this guy today,
This guy
got
today
off the phone with him.
He talked to me for a good 15, 20 minutes, maybe even longer than that. Super knowledgeable, very nice, very courteous. He even told me if he did not care if I even went with him, if I went with somebody else, and I had any questions whatsoever to ask him, because he wanted people to be knowledgeable as to what's going on. And he gave me a good lesson in spray foam. Not all spray foams are equal. There's cheap varieties out there. And I had learned that here recently about the cheap varieties, because usually cheap varieties smell, give an odor, detach, and there's a lot of stuff. And older spray foam will do that too. But this guy was nice. So we would really like to do the closed cell.
But it's costlier. However, this guy, he didn't charge so much for the closed cell.
Not as much as the other two that we got priced. Other two were basically double. He wasn't in that double ballpark figure at all.
We don't have his final quote
No,
yet.
he's supposed to give it to me tonight, so I'm fingers crossed that it's going to be a good one that we're that'll work. Because see, now I'm holding Brent up.
Yep.
Because Brent is wanting to put the roof on, but he can't put the roof on unless he wraps it. But if
well,
I don't
the roof
need
wasn't
the
going to
wrap,
be wrapped
it's going to
anyway.
be wrapped too, because it's the same concept.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're kind of at a
I thought we were using closed cell in the roof.
open
Okay.
ceiling roof.
Okay.
Yep. So everything's
Okay,
an open
so he
cell.
does need to know.
He's
like
got to know.
tonight.
So this
Well, hopefully the guy will get back with us
Hopefully
today
so.
because I really felt, you know how you just get a funny feeling when you talk to somebody sometime?
yeah, because that when you tell me what that guy said, and I was like, and he was a good bit cheaper than the first guy.
Yeah, it was a cut for several $1,000s cheaper.
He was, and so.
And
I
another
was
thing
like,
is about spray foam is you may be in an area where things are done different because a lot of it depends on your climate.
It does. That's something else I learned. Up north is way different than it is down here when it comes to spray foam insulation, and in the Midwest is different.
It's just
it's
our
all different. Yeah,
climate is different,
Yeah.
and therefore it's done different ways.
it
so
is. As a
just
matter of-
because you have closed cell doesn't
Yep.
mean the South can have closed cell, vice versa.
right. Well, from matter of fact, what I learned yesterday is that if you're in the northern climates, that I don't think they even do open cell. Period.
Probably not.
It's all closed cell because it's different. Y'all are worried about keeping heat in.
Yeah, we're
and
worried
blocking
about keeping
cold
heat out.
And we're just the opposite. We're worried about keeping cold in and blocking heat out.
Right.
So, anyways, that's where we were on that. And I told him about the open ceiling and all that, and he said that ain't no problem. He said he wished
Did you
he had a
ask him
picture.
about painting it?
I asked him. He said it'd be paintable.
Okay.
Yep, it would be paintable. He said he said he don't care what anybody tells you. You know, it's going to have
Of ripples.
some ripples in it.
Yeah.
But you know, it'll be minimum.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's plus that we're going to have a pretty tall roof line.
yes.
You know, it's not like it's going to be.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be a long way for your eye to see it.
That's right.
And who knows? We may in turn, in the future, go back and cover that up. We don't know. We just want to do something right now, which is paint it.
Yeah, and I really do like.
Oh,
that,
I
so-
like it too.
Yeah.
I like it too. But you never know what the future might hold.
That's right.
So we got a lot going on. Just a lot of decisions to be made.
It's my head starts spinning. But we need to lock that tub down.
I
That
don't want to
tub-
look at them tonight.
We need to lock that down. We really
I just
do.
don't want to look at them tonight.
Pop your popcorn.
I've been doing that every night. I'm popcorned out.
I know it. I know
But
your popcorn.
let me
out.
tell y'all something. What Jason did on Sunday.
Uh-oh.
I haven't talked about this. We hadn't had a podcast since Sunday.
We haven't. That's right.
Jason cooked the most awesome brisket.
I did. This is my second one on the grill, on the smoker.
I told y'all how good the one was we had at Christmas. This one knocked that one's socks off.
The first one, and I think I even mentioned the podcast, was a little dry on
But
the
I
dry
didn't
side.
think so.
Yeah,
I thought
did.
it was just perfect.
You see the difference now,
I
though.
do. It's awesome.
This last one, the first one, I had instructions to go by, and I'm using the barbecue guy, the meat church is what it's called, and I kind of veered off his instructions a little bit because
On the first one?
he cooks at a higher temperature than most people, at 275, and I got the super smoker on my grill that really put some smoky flavor in it. And so last time I kind of tinkered around with it and would cook it at a lower temperature, and I just didn't do it right. And I didn't know how to wrap it and all that. But this one, I stuck to my guns. I didn't change anything, and it turned out awesome.
Well, this is
Turned
the
out
third
awesome.
day that we will be eating leftovers.
Man, y'all, I even had it for breakfast. Put it on biscuits.
Put it on biscuits with some mustard. I don't know why I didn't have a bite of it.
I asked you.
I don't know why I
know why
didn't
you won't
because I
eat.
know it was good.
It was really good, and God, that will last us a week.
It is so good. Even reheated, it is so good.
The only complaint I had is I told you I wish it had a little bit more smoky flavor, but I think it's my pellets.
Oh, I think it's
I'm
awesome.
learning about these pellets and this pellet grill, and I know there's some people out there that think that pellet grill, that's for sissies. You need to. I'm 40, fixing to be 47 years old. I ain't got time to sit out there 3 days loading some big smoker up. I just don't. If you don't have one of these pellet grills, and there's several companies out there, mine's Traeger, but there's Green Mountain, there's Pit Boss, y'all. It is the best thing ever.
You think I could cook on it?
You could. Listen, it's got a screen on it. You put your pellets in. You type in. Mine's got a dial, and it even connects to my phone I got now, where I like using it on my phone.
We were out there working on the Purple Pigeon Palace, and Jason's looking at his phone, and I'm thinking to myself, we're working. Why are you looking at your phone? And he said, I had to adjust the temperature a little bit.
Temperature a little bit. Even tells me the temperature of the meat. But so you turn it to what you want. 350 degrees, boom.
Like an oven.
Just like an oven. But
it creates smoke.
It cooks with these wooden pellets. And I know I talked about it before. Y'all don't want me to repeat this thing, but it cooks with these solid wood pellets.
They're
sitting
sitting down here at my feet.
I know it. I keep them in here so they don't get wet.
There's not a... Yeah, it is.
There's one open. And they just press it, and the oils in the wood keep it together. And, yeah, that's what they look like.
Kind of looks like little...
This is the hardwood.
Kind of looks like some type of feed.
It does like chicken feed.
It does.
But
it doesn't have any smell to it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Usually the Traeger pellets are pretty good, but what I found about Traeger is they use Adler wood. Did I say that right? Alder. I'm thinking of my buddy Chad over there at Adler Farm.
You ain't cooking with Chad.
They use that for a base, and then they put like oils in it, like hickory oil to have hickory. That's what I've been told, and I think that's right. But there's all these oodles of pellet companies, and so you can buy the cheaper ones. And the only thing it's hard to find them here, except the cheap ones were in our area. That's what me and my buddy Michael Key were talking about. We're talking about it. You either get Pit Boss or Traeger. There's really
no in between.
Really no in between. Just the cheaper style. I think Kingsford. Then that's not a higher end pellet either. Without ordering it, usually then shipping costs you more than the pellets do.
Huh.
But anyways, the brisket was great. It was really, really good. I just wish it had a little bit more smoky flavor to it. But other than that,
I don't think
awesome.
it needed not one single thing. And if you cook one that's better than this one, then you're quitting your day job and you're going to grill. Because that thing was good.
It was good.
It was so good. And it's so good reheated. And this time we bought a big one. Last time we didn't buy a very big one.
It
was all they had last time. So this time I bought the right size. If you remember me talking about it, I told Jason it was like 7 pounds, but it was $7 a pound, something like that.
No, you told me it was 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds, and it was like $4.50 a pound.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I'm doing a 4.5 pound brisket.
But the other day I had picked up this. I was looking at over near the bag lettuces and stuff like that in Walmart, and I just was looking for something that was a little bit different than your regular lettuce, and so I found this bag, and it said Super Blend, and I got to looking at it, and I need to go to the grocery store with glasses because I usually have to take a picture of it and then enlarge it to be able to read it.
Yeah, you need to take your glasses.
I do, don't I?
You got the ones now that the person sent us that click on.
They sent them to you, but I wear them more than you.
I know.
But anyway, it was called Super Blend, and it was, help me, it was kohlrabi,
broccoli, carrots, kale. Do you have any cabbage in it?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it was a mix of all these super greens, the Brussels sprouts. And so I bought that little bag, and it was a little bag, and I thought, this isn't going to be enough for Marycarl to eat as a side. But I bought that, and then I bought a little bottle of dressing, and it was poppy seed. And I didn't know what it was going to be like. But, y'all, I'm here to tell you, Jason could have ate the whole bowl by himself.
I could have. As a matter of fact, I didn't tell you this, that the next day for lunch, I went in the refrigerator to look, and I had my mind set that's what I was going to have, and it wasn't in there.
That's because you ate it all.
For some reason, I thought we had leftovers.
Marycarl loved it, but guess what?
What?
I made it earlier today.
Yeah?
So it's in the refrigerator.
Ooh.
Because I kind of like it when it's chilled, and that dressing bottle was brand new, so...
Okay.
I've been letting it
and with the brisket.
With the brisket, we're going to have that. And I'm glad you haven't found it yet. At least I put a cover on it so you couldn't see it. But that was a really good find.
That was a good find.
Because the next time I went, I picked up a couple of more bags, and I picked up Mama a bag. And so she sent me a message late last night. She must have cracked it open. hers.
She liked it.
She said, "Oh my gracious,
Good.
that salad was to die for."
It's really good.
That was her answer.
It's really good. And plus, we don't have a garden or anything.
Yeah, I was
right
going
now,
to say
so,
it's
yeah.
not like it. You know,
Yeah.
it would have been better if it had been fresh from the garden.
Right.
We don't have a garden,
We don't have a
so
garden.
that was. I think it said 3.5 servings is what it was on that bag.
Yeah, that's about right.
But just seeing the little bag, it doesn't look like it would feed one person. That was good. I think we're on to something
very, very
new.
good. Yeah, we are on something new.
But I looked at the calories on that poppy seed dressing, and
Yeah.
I shouldn't have.
Oh, gosh.
A tablespoon was 150 calories.
Wonder why.
I don't know. It must have a lot of sugar in it.
Just very vinegary.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. But I'm still going to eat it because that was some good stuff.
I've seen that brand Skinny Girl poppy seed dressing.
Yeah, I've got some in the refrigerator, as a matter of fact, that we've had for a little bit.
Oh, okay. I knew I'd seen it somewhere.
Yeah, that's where you've seen it. I don't know. Mama ordered it for me because she thought I might like it. But I think they have it in Walmart, too.
Okay. There you go.
But, gosh, we need a lot of things to come together. If somebody wants to volunteer to be our personal bathroom picker-outer or assistant, it would eliminate me a lot of nighttime strain.
We're going to get that handled. We're going to get that knocked out of the way tonight.
Jason and Marycarl will watch TV.
Yeah.
Of course, we're living in a camper, so we're tight quarters. And I take the laptop and sit at the little settee, I guess you would call it, the dining room table.
Yeah.
And they watch TV while I go through pages and pages and pages. I just wish I wasn't so hung up on reviews.
Yeah.
I just need to get... And then when you read them, it's like, it arrived damaged. That's not a review about the product.
That's not a review about the product.
You can't help that.
That's right.
So, I mean, I wish I could filter through damaged.
Right.
Don't include those. Just include the product.
Yeah. And you'd probably find that they're not as bad as you think.
No. Well, I found a faucet that I really liked.
Yes.
That was reasonable.
But it did have some bad reviews.
Well, it did, but it was still like 780 reviews, and it was 4.5 stars.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, how bad can it be?
I guess so then.
But I don't want my plumbing leaking in my wall.
No.
So,
not at all.
therefore, I kind of need to know about the bad. And that was what the bad was.
That's what the bad was.
It wasn't a name brand faucet. And, my plumber told me one time, if you don't get a Delta or a Kohler or, Price Pfister or Moen, then I don't want to work on it.
That's what he told us. He sure told us that. And I think he liked Delta more than anything,
He
didn't he?
did, because it was easy to get parts for.
Yeah.
And they just don't go wrong as much as some of your other off brands. And this was some no name brand that I've never heard of. And I just don't. You know what faucet that we had at Little Cog that I just loved?
The jacuzzi one?
It was made by Jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Jacuzzi makes tubs. You don't think about them making faucets.
Yeah.
But that was a good faucet.
It was.
At least I felt like it was. Loved it. Sitting in my soaking tub with my jacuzzi faucet. One day soon.
It's
One
coming.
day soon.
It's coming. Somebody asked in one of the comments of one of the videos was that, do y'all think y'all will be moved in by next winter?
Oh.
And I said, I hope so. With fingers crossed.
Marycarl will ask me from time to time, Mama, when do you think we'll be moved in by? And she really does not care if
She
we
doesn't.
ever get moved in.
She is so comfortable in the camper. We just don't spend
we're not
a whole
inside.
lot of time in that camper.
And I told you know what I told her?
What's that?
I told her I thought we'd be in July.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Girl?
What do you think?
No.
You don't think?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I just think it's going to come to a halt when we start working on the inside.
I'm going to throw those walls up overnight.
But,
You're going to see a side of me you ain't seen before.
Oh, gracious.
I need that bathtub.
I'm trying to think, how many walls do we actually have?
It's not that many.
The sheetrock, if we do any sheetrock, that's going to be the kicker.
No, somebody can put sheetrock up in a week
That's going to be the kicker.
and finish it.
Okay.
I
hope you're right.
Man, have you ever known me to be wrong?
Mm-mm.
I was gonna say something about the hookbill eggs.
Yes.
Are they called Dutch hookbill?
hookbills.
Okay, so if y'all watch the videos, which I anticipate you probably do if you're listening to us jabber,
Right.
Marycarl and Jason put some Dutch hookbill duck eggs in the incubator in the barn. We have had some unseasonably cool
Weather.
consecutive days.
We have.
To where it didn't get out of the 40s for a few days, and the incubator would not hold its temperature.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Plus, that door's been open. That's another thing we need to do.
The incubator, I would look at it, and it would be 88 degrees, 89 degrees. Well, Marycarl candled them, and none of them were forming.
None of them.
And so we disposed of those eggs because they were not going to hatch. There was no sense in the incubator being plugged in, running when it wasn't going to obviously produce anything.
Right.
So Venus, who is the hookbill female, had laid 12 eggs.
Really?
12 eggs. And I kept waiting on her to sit on them.
And she never did.
She never has sat on them. And she can't possibly sit on more than a dozen.
Yeah.
Her little body couldn't cover them up. So she wasn't sitting, at 9 or 10. She wasn't going to sit.
Right.
So I took the incubator out of the barn, brought it up to the camper, plugged it in inside the camper.
Okay.
And I didn't do any of this. I just gave it to Marycarl.
She handled it.
She handled it. But she just, before we came to the podcast, put in a dozen hookbill eggs.
Oh, cool.
So we will see. Hopefully they weren't just not fertile.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully they just didn't develop because the temperatures weren't ample.
That's probably what it is. I think you're right. I think this is going to work.
So today, let's see. They went in on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
February the 25th, we should have hookbill eggs hatching.
That would be exciting. I know she'll be excited.
If they're going to hatch, then that will be the time. And Robert, our friend over at Daybird Aviaries, he's also into preserving that breed. So he said that, obviously we really probably don't need 12 ducks.
Oh, no.
But there's so many people that desire to have them to improve the breed that we're going to hatch as many as we can because Robert said he'd take them all.
Take every one of them.
So that's where we are. And
speaking of Marycarl wants to come in and talk about modern game
That's right.
Bantams.
I forgot about that.
So Marycarl is going to bring a modern game Bantam chicken here and give y'all a lesson on the modern game Bantam chicken breed.
That's the long-legged ones.
That's the long-legged ones.
And she's got 2 hens and 1 little cockerel.
That's it.
And they hatched out a few
babies.
children.
Mm-hmm. She's going to bring one of the babies in here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it with y'all then. And I might go heat up that brisket while y'all...
You do that.
That'd be a good idea?
That'd be a good idea.
Just hope I don't eat all that salad while I'm preparing the brisket.
That's right.
It'd be like eating my dessert before I eat my main meal.
Don't eat all that salad
so
before
good.
we come in there. All right, so Marycarl has joined us for this podcast, and she has brought a modern game chick. This is Cobbler and Blackberry's baby.
Yes.
Talking to the mic.
Okay.
There you go. They can't hear you.
This is Cobbler and Blackberry, the modern games baby. She looks like she's got a little bit of gold tint to her.
Uh-huh.
So I think she'll be a brown red like the parents because they were both brown reds. It's just kind of hard to tell because she's still getting her real feathers in. She's still got like half and half. Baby feathers, real feathers. See her belly.
And for those that don't know, the modern game Bantams are the chickens that have the really long legs.
You can see how much longer her legs are. They're known for their long legs,
Mhm.
and they were derived from fighting breeds chicken,
Mhm.
like Old English games, American games, and Malays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Malays were fighting breeds. They might have
Yeah,
been.
Malay is a fighting breed, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah. but that's what they were derived from. They look very similar to a Malay.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very similar. So if you've ever seen a Malay, they almost look identical, except for the moderns have more of a, like, ornamental chicken shape more than, like, a Malay shape. Malays are more like...
To me, the Malays have, if I'm not mistaken, their upper legs look really muscular.
Yes. But moderns, they get that muscular look from Malays.
Okay.
They're not as, like, muscular looking as Malays, but still.
But the modern games are not a fighting chicken.
No.
They're very docile.
They're very, very friendly.
Very friendly.
They're very inquisitive, too. They're kind of like little turkeys.
Little curious, yeah, like little... They kind of look like turkeys
Kind of.
with their long legs and stuff.
Yeah. They originated in England.
Oh, really?
In about 1850 to the 1900s.
Uh-huh.
They're purely bred for exhibition.
That's it.
Yes.
So they were bred for shows.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's like you really wouldn't think of a chicken having a purpose just for being shows. They're supposed to be poor egg layers, but mine proved that wrong.
They're laying quite regular.
They really are. I probably get 2 eggs every day. Today they didn't lay because it was kind of chilly.
And that's because you got 2 hens, Cobbler and Blackberry.
Yes, I have 2 hens and 1 rooster.
Oh, I said Cobbler. Blackberry and Blueberry.
Yes.
Cobbler's the rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Blueberry is a splash, which means...
They're like a blue with probably more like a self-blue white with dark blue or blacks, like splotches on them.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I'm pretty sure she's going to be a brown red, which brown reds I have 2 brown reds. I have Cobbler and I have Blackberry.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that, I don't think you can see it on camera, but she's getting the gold tint to her.
See it. I can't even see it from here, and I'm close to you.
See her?
Yeah, I guess.
But that's brown red. It's pretty much golden birchen, I guess.
You know which ones I like?
Which ones?
The red piles.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
They're red and cream. Not actually white.
It's like a whitish cream.
Yeah, it's kind of an off-white color. They're really pretty.
The standard ones are so awesome.
What other colors did they come in?
These are a few of the recognized colors.
Okay.
Wheaten, blue, black, and white. But the white ones are really cool.
And the red pile.
Yes.
The red pile's recognized, isn't it? Because I've seen red piles in shows.
Yes, they are recognized, but that's just what
Okay.
I saw some of the very common recognized colors.
I got you.
So
So they do make a standard breed of these.
yes,
Because I've only seen the Bantams.
I like the Bantams better.
I mean, every time this is probably why I say that. We've been to several shows, and it's probably a toss-up depending on what show we go to. It seems like recently the Old English have really been popular in some of the shows we've gone to.
Yes, Old Englishes are popular.
And that's the Old English Bantam. But the modern games are extremely popular as well.
They are.
They are one of the most common breeds when you go there. And which seems kind of weird to me because you really don't see this breed that much outside the shows, in my opinion. You just don't see anybody having modern game Bantam chickens, in my opinion.
You really don't.
No.
They're kind of an uncommon breed, and I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I looked at the Livestock Conservancy, I don't know, a few months ago, and I'm pretty sure that they're on the critical list.
Really?
Really.
Huh.
And they really aren't that old of a breed, but still, they're somewhat
That's
old.
Interesting. They sure
It
are popular in the
is.
shows.
They really are. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Probably,
I'm thinking the top 3 are the Old English games. They're probably the most popular.
probably.
The Silkies,
And then moderns.
and then moderns. So those 3 are most definitely the most
And,
popular.
like, sometimes you go to shows that have seramas. Like, only certain shows have seramas. Not all of them will.
Right.
Only certain shows will. Like, this year, in our local show, we didn't have seramas. but when was it? 2 years ago?
They did.
They did have Saramas.
Yeah.
So Saramas are an association that comes to the shows.
Yeah.
And moderns, they aren't. They're just like, just a bird that you would enter into
Yeah,
a show.
the Saramas have a separate sanction because of the tabletop dancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do in cage, it would be fine.
Yeah. You just don't see Saramas at a chicken show without having the tabletop dancing going along with it.
Yes.
And they're just not an in cage show chicken.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be both.
You can see how long. Look at her legs.
Their legs are really, really long. I know y'all have seen them in our videos, but yeah, they're very, very, very long.
I'm surprised at how long her legs are already.
Yeah, they're pretty long.
I have 2 roosters, I think, and this little hen. One of the roosters is very interesting. It's not a full-blooded modern.
Mm-hmm.
I hatched it before a Tiny Tim was out of the modern game coop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Sarama modern game mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like kind of like struts like a like a Sarama, but it's got the long legs.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of weird looking.
That sounds funny.
But this one is a full-blooded, and I'm pretty sure it's a hen because her comb is so small and her wattles are almost barely visible.
Yeah.
And one of the neat things about the black ones and some of the dark colors is their comb and wattles are mulberry or black, kind of like silkies.
That deep purpley looking color
But
almost.
her skin is just like regular.
So it's like a regular. It's
chicken
not like a
skin.
silky.
Not like a
Not
silky.
like a silky. Interesting.
Actually, silkies are she likes that. Look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Silkies are, if you have a silky with black feathers, they're no different than I am Samani. They're all black.
Ain't that something?
Even their eyes are black.
You know, people don't think about that. You just hear, I am Samani, and it seems like that's the most only solid black chicken out there, and that's not the case.
There's Swartpanas too, which are a very rare breed.
Yep, they're not near as popular as the I am Samani.
I am Samanis are probably one of the most popular chickens now, I would say.
They're pretty popular now.
And they aren't as rare as they used to be.
No, they have really, really, really gained some steam here over the last few years, and they're fairly common now. So at one point, they were not.
They were considered rare.
Very rare. I remember years ago, it's probably before you were born, looking at some eggs, and like a half a dozen eggs was like $600. It was crazy. But now you can they're pretty easy to find, in my opinion.
Yeah, you could probably just look on Facebook and find them.
You just have to watch and make sure you get a full-blooded one if that's what you're looking for.
Sometimes what people will do is they'll like get Australops or something and just breed it with a silky and say, I am Samani.
Yeah, you have to watch out.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are the I am Samani. We might have to bring ACDC in here one day. You reckon?
He would not sit still.
He wouldn't sit still at all. Oh my gracious!
I might bring the little Sarama next time. Little Sarama baby.
Oh yeah. Have you named it yet?
I call it Minnie.
Now, I think it's a rooster, and Mama's told me last night you think it's a hen. You sure?
Pretty sure.
Man, it looks like a rooster to me. The way that thing walks with his chest all bowed up.
It's so funny
and that little tail sticking straight up.
It's so funny
It
because
is.
the little Saramas, no matter if it's a hen or a rooster, they strut when they're babies, and it is so funny.
It is funny.
Like, baby birds, they are so funny when they start showing their traits, like long legs, the tail straight up,
Tail straight
chest
up,
out.
chest out.
My baby fantail pigeons,
Mm-hmm.
and most baby pigeons, their tail's just like slanted, but the fantails, it goes straight up.
Straight up.
It's so funny.
That is funny.
I think she's getting cold.
I think so too. All right, so anything else? That's it?
I think that's it.
All right, well, we thoroughly enjoyed you coming here and showing us the modern game Bantam.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Cogcast podcast, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be good.
Well, it's another one in the books for the Cog Hill 40. Join us again next week for our next edition of the Cog Hill podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.